This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined by Joey Knight today. After all the trash talk taking place on Twitter, you found yourself one of the biggest talking points on Twitter yesterday, which is unusual for you, because you're not on Twitter too much. Well, how did that feel? Pretty nice? Have everyone talking about you?
Not really, no. I don't really give a when people talk about me or not. But, yeah, someone writ, didn't they, underneath it? I see someone writ, oh, you know it's serious beef when Joey goes on Twitter. Like, he don't even go on Twitter.
When Joey picks his phone up for once in his life
Yeah.
and goes on Twitter, which he never goes on.
I don't do all the Twitter stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, my like social media platforms are just Instagram and TikTok, because that's what, you know. I don't think you don't make no money through Twitter, do you?
You can, but it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
It's not good money.
No, it's the worst.
So obviously YouTube and even Instagram, you don't really make money through Instagram unless it's people paying for sponsors and stuff. But yeah, like Twitter don't make no money, so I don't go on Twitter. And as well, it's just a lot of negativity on Twitter, isn't there? But what you'll find is that's the place you'll find the fucking idiots like Deen. So I had to put it up on Twitter, but yeah, it is what it is.
And what did you say? For people who don't know what you tweeted, what did you kind of reference to yesterday?
Well, I said it from the start, didn't I? I've said to, like, not even people were referencing this video, yeah. And obviously, I reposted the video that I done when Brian said to me, "Oh, how do you think a fight goes between Deen and Cray Cray?" And I said, "Deen won't fight Cray Cray." I said, "Deen don't want to fight no one." Like, and I obviously look, there's stuff that me and you can't say, but we know, like, we know the amount of fights that Deen's turned down. We know how Deen will talk about fighting someone who is up here in the sky, but will turn down a fight against someone who couldn't lace that person's boots and whatever. He overvalues himself. He's a cock, basically. He's just a little prima donna. He's a cock. But obviously with myself, when I was in the tournament, my sights were set on winning the tournament, and winning the tournament would mean Deen, yeah? Fine. I get beat in the tournament. I lose by, in my opinion, 1 point to little Cray Cray. Was it a fair loss? Yeah. Do I have any complaints? No. Is it my fault I lost that fight? Yeah, 100%. And not even just my fault, like Cray Cray's ability, yeah? To be honest, it's different styles for different fights, and I'm not making a case to say that this makes me a level above anyone else or whatever, but I'd say my fight with Cray Cray was probably closer than the fight in the final. Do you know what I mean? Like, but we're all of that level. Like, we'll all swap wins and losses between us, and ultimately, you look at this lightweight division, and everyone seems like they're willing to fight each other. Yeah, but there's one man who doesn't seem like he's willing to fight anyone, and it's Deen. So when he turned down the fight with Cray Cray, tried to say nah, price himself out and whatever, and this is going on what he said, like, I won't be undervalued and all shit like that and whatever. You let a tournament play out. You fought in the interim against a no-bouter who, yeah, had an MMA background, but I get stick for fighting Baby Hulk. What? No difference between Baby Hulk and
Dave Fogarty.
Dave Fogarty.
Yeah.
No difference between Baby Hulk and Dave Fogarty in terms of both of them are MMA guys that had come over to boxing for their first fight. But obviously what people don't know is in the interim, Deen's turned down a fight with me. So when I've been beat by that point, 1 point on the scorecards by little Cray Cray, yeah, fair and square, Deen comes out and starts tweeting about me. And Deen's never mentioned my name, yeah? Comes out and starts tweeting about me. So my thing is always this, yeah? You've interviewed me so many times after people have lost, yeah? I had loads of fucking beef with the Argentinian king. He gets beat, you come interview me. From memory, did I say a bad word about him in that interview?
Not that I believe.
No. Because do you know why? Because I'm more grown up than that. I'm more mature than that, yeah? I don't kick men when they're down. And I weren't really down. It was what it was. Like, I got in there and I took a gamble and fought a man who, yeah, all right, in age is younger than me, little Cray Cray, but in boxing experience, 35 fights, something like that? That was my 13th fight. I'd had 12 fights before that. Do you know what I mean? Cray Cray had been the 5-3 distance a couple of times with Musa and Yuddy. What had I been? 2 and a bit rounds against Most Wanted. and 2.5 minutes against Baby Hulk. And then back in my unlicensed days, I was fighting 2-minute rounds. 10 fights on there, 10 wins, whatever. Beat boys on there that were better than Deen. Do you know what I mean? Beat a boy on there that was that I would say is about the same level as Cray Cray. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, although people thought, okay, yeah, Joey could win this or whatever, I saw myself as an underdog going into that Cray Cray fight anyway, yeah? And Deen starts tweeting about me after, and that fucking pissed me off, yeah? But at the same time, I thought, do you know what it is? Let me be calculated rather than be, what's the word? Like emotional or whatever. Let me be calculated here. Let's not go back at him, because I understand the way that these things are, yeah? People are just going to give you stick, aren't they? And it's just going to be like, oh, you just been beat, why are you even speaking about Deen and whatever? Because for I'd say 80%, 90% of like the online community realise that he's just a pussy and he just ducks people and talks a load of shit. But he has a few people out there that will stick up for him and go, nah, you're nowhere near Deen's level and all this, yeah, whatever. So I ignored it, but then when the Qatari card, things were going wrong and fighters were pulling out and whatever, on, 6 days notice, 5 days notice or something, I would have immediately had to have packed a bag and flown out to Qatar, yeah? Mm-hmm. Deen gets offered to fight me, yeah? And this is the thing, he's trying to make out he didn't. And you notice in the Twitter thing, he come back, said something, and I said, bro, just answer the question, knowing that I can expose you, knowing like, listen, I don't want to have to do it, but if you want me to expose you, I can expose you. Do you know what I mean? So knowing, and Deen knows, like, he can figure things out. You know what I mean? Like, Deen knows, he knows himself that, like, Joey would know. You know what I mean? Because what are they going to do? Offer him a fight without saying to me, would you take it? Do you know what I mean? So they'd already said, before they'd even got a chance to offer me the fight, Brian's already said, yeah, Joey will have that fight. Yeah? Mm-hmm. They've gone to Deen with it. No. Yeah? They've offered Deen someone else. I'm not going to say anything. They've offered Deen someone else. Deen said, because everyone's going, oh, well, it's obviously bullshit because he was in negotiations with Adam Salah. Yeah, that's why. That's why. Because the Adam Salah thing didn't come off and they needed something big for the card. So they offered me to Deen. Deen turned it down. And I think he turned it down twice for that card. I think they went back and gave him another offer and whatever. So the whole thing about, oh, they never offered me it. Listen, bruv, when you've got someone who you know is a blatant liar, how can you take anything they say serious? Do you know what I mean?
But when I interviewed him yesterday, let me find this little clip up on my phone. 1 second. When I find this clip on my phone, I interviewed Deen yesterday. It's so warm in this house as well.
I've got the heating on.
Yeah, in the house in my parents' house, they didn't have the heating on at all. big budget cuts. Anyway, so I interviewed Deen yesterday, and this is what he had to say here. I'll put the clip on the screen now as well. But I see you on Twitter today going back and forth with Joey Knight. That could be quite a good fight.
Oh my gosh. No, stop. No. He's a fan. He came up to me as a fan, Fred. Said he liked my video. I love what you're doing, mate. Bro, and then he asked me for a face-off as a fan. I do face-offs. Some fans be asking me for face-offs, and I'm like, all right, cool. Just like awesome cool shit, bro. Because I don't look at myself higher than nobody else, bro. But it's like, all right, cool. On some fan shit, yeah, we can do a face-off. But then he just so happened to be fighting type shit. So it was like, look at the circle of life. That's crazy. But bro, I don't even know him, bro. Next question. I don't even want to get into that. I don't know him.
Dismisses it straight away. He doesn't want to get into it because he knows that if you dig and if you start talking, yeah, right, and if you start asking him harder questions, he knows that he ain't got a foot to stand on because he knows that I know the truth. And did I go up to him and say I like his content? That's what he just said there, innit? Well, said I like his videos.
I believe the video that was put up was the one of you saying, "Oh, this could be a possible fight down the line." I think.
Yeah. But no. Listen. So by Deen's story there, I went up to him as a fan and asked for a face-off with him. Yeah. That's right, what Deen said there. Okay. You were at the nightclub, weren't you? Not when we done the open workout thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else was there?
Deen the Great.
Deen the bang average, yeah? He was there then. So this whole thing of I went up to him as a fan, what people don't know is Deen is stood there, right? And I've turned round and Dean's there. Now, Deen has already tweeted about me at this point. We've never met. He's tweeted about me because Brian and me were doing a podcast when we were announcing my fight with Most Wanted and whatnot.
Right.
And Brian said, like, what's the thing? Like, what's the goal? And I said, I'd like to fight Deen the Great. Like, I'd like to fight him straight away or whatever, because that's where coming off of what I'd done on the unlicensed scene and whatnot, yeah, as I say, I've beat boys that are better than Deen. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, cool. Deen's good. Deen's a good fighter. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter, but I've beat boys that are better. So let me try and go in and try and fight the one who is the best. Do you know what I mean? So he then tweeted me after that. And what did I do? Ignored it, because I don't do that. Yeah? I ain't even tweeting back because I don't even do that. Then we are at that open workout thing, and when we're at the open workout, I've turned round and Deen the Great stood there, and he's going, looking at me like that. And I went, what are you looking at? And he went, like that. And I went, what are you saying? And he's gone, like that, and looked at my hand, yeah? And I looked at him and smiled, and I went, what, we shaking hands or what? And he went, yeah, man. Shook his hand and whatever, yeah? That's at the open workout. That's off camera. So this thing of, he came up to me as a fan asking for a picture. I was at the open workout with him. I was in a hotel with him where he fucking didn't change his clothes for about 4 days. At the public weigh-in, and then there on fight night. Do you know what I mean? And this whole thing of, he came up to me as a fan. Bro. Look at fucking... I'm not being funny, yeah? Look at, what's it? Just have a look. If you ever look, you know that picture where I'm stood over Most Wanted when I drop him? Mm-hmm. Look in between my legs. You're not going to see my Corey. You will see Deen. He stood there watching the fight.
It's like foreshadowing.
I put it on the video yesterday. We're in the reception, he's talking to me and he's like, yeah, man, you got that grown man strength. Oh, yeah. And all this, yeah? So it's like, yeah, bruv, like, I'm not denying. I said, yeah, can we get a face-off picture? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Tom Aspinall asked fucking John Jones for the same. Plenty of fighters do that. That's because you want to fight with that person. But what I didn't realise at the time was that he was a shithouse. I thought I had respect for him. I was like, do you know what? Like, I've seen this guy a couple of times. I've seen him in with a few guys that are nowhere near his level, but I've also seen him in with this Walid. And by this point, I've only really seen, like, Fox fought that night for the first time. I'd never heard of Little Cray Cray at that point. I'd seen Yuddy fight once. I'd never heard of the Argentinian King at that point. Ace Musa I'd never heard of at that point. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, all I had to base it on was Walid. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of like, yeah, like, oh, sick. Like, this guy is a guy that comes for a shootout, backs himself, backs his ability. I'm going to come in, I'm going to have a fight with him. And that was it. So, literally, like, yeah, did I ask him for a face-off? Yeah. But that's the difference. You get honesty out of me. Yeah? Right. You don't get that out of Deen. What Deen doesn't answer is whether or not he turned down the fight. And he knows full well he got offered to fight me on the Qatar card, and he turned it down. So, you can fight Dave Fogarty, but you can't fight me. Do you know what I mean? Right. You can fight... You don't want to fight Little Cray Cray. You're completely pricing yourself out of Little Cray Cray. But I could tell you the guy that Deen did say he would fight, and that one didn't end up happening, nowhere near the level. Even Adam Salah. Bro, Adam Salah compared to Little Cray Cray. Are you joking? Like, the level, the difference in level there is mental. He doesn't want to take any risks, mate. He shit himself. He don't want it. He's an absolute pussy. The fella is a pussy. And the reason is personal. Everything else is just business. I couldn't give a fuck. Like, mate, you can get the Argentinian King can say whatever he wants about me, and you know that I actually like the Argentinian King. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? Whether or not me and him have beef when we fucking box and whatnot, that's something else. But I actually like him. I think the fella's funny. I think he's entertaining.
Well, I'll interrupt you because I've got this the second half of this part here.
You're going back and forth with him on Twitter, though. I was just responding to him, gang, because he lied about Fred. You seen he lied. He said, what did he say? They offered him to fight me on the Qatar card. Fred, does that make any sense?
I don't know. I haven't seen. I don't.
No. Stop it, Fred. Does it make any sense? Yes or no? Does it make any sense for a fight to be offered from him after he just lost? He just fucking lost. And for me to fight him in Qatar, does that make any sense, Fred?
Well, I feel like it's just looking for what fighters are around, what fighters are available, and who's coming to fight.
No. But just answer the question, Fred. Does that make sense?
I could make sense. I think Joe's an exciting fighter.
I'm not saying if he's an exciting fighter. I said does. Next question, Fred.
Keep the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling.
Look, he wants to move on. He don't want to get into it. Is that it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go with that logic. Does it make any sense? I lost my last fight. Why would I fight Deen? Does it make any sense? Okay, let's go with that logic. Why did I fight Little Cray Cray?
Because it's in the tournament.
But was he in the tournament?
Little Cray Cray was, yes.
He was in the tournament, was he?
Yes.
But he got beat, didn't he?
He got beat by Judy Gang in Houston in Texas.
Yeah. So by Dean's logic, you're saying he's saying you've lost your last fight, yeah, bro. I just lost to Little Cray Cray, yeah. Little Cray Cray lost to Yuddy, and then Little Cray Cray comes back into the tournament. So if Misfits, were against doing something because putting someone in a fight because they had taken a loss, then I would have never even fucking fought Little Cray Cray, would I? Because the reason I was in with Little Cray Cray was because he re-entered the tournament after taking a loss. Do you know what I mean? But this is the difference, bro. Like, this is the difference. I don't give a fuck, right? Ask Deen who he wants to fight, and he'll go, like Tank, Shakur, like whatever. Brilliant. Do you know what I mean? That's like going to me, who do you want to fuck? And me going, I'd probably start off with Kim Kardashian, then I might move on. Like, you've got no chance these boys even acknowledging you or getting in a ring with you. Right. Yeah? You've got no chance when it comes to fighting them. But what you want is the cash out payday. Deen wants out of boxing. Deen don't like boxing. I can tell, yeah? I could smell pussy on that boy the second I met him. I could smell that he was a pussy, yeah? And he wants out of boxing. So he wants a big cash out payday. So he's trying to make it out like he'll fight one of these pros or whatever. But in the meantime, he ain't willing to take a risk against a me or a Little Cray Cray or whatever or someone like that. You'll never see him fight a pro. If you see him fight, and I'm not on about like, a pro, like whatever. I'm on about, who are these guys? Is it Kamel
Wharton and then Jahan Ingram?
Yeah. You'll never see him fight either of them. And they're like prospects, you know what I mean, aren't they? They're not fucking Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson.
Why won't he fight them when he's calling them out?
Because the man is a liar. The boy, I'm not even going to call him a man, he's a little boy, he's a compulsive liar. Bro, he's not an honest and loyal person. If I tell you I'm going to do something, Fred, I shake your hand, and what does that mean? It's done. Yeah? Would you ever doubt anything I say to you? If I say, yeah, I'll do that with you, Fred, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Mams, you could ask Mams, who is the easiest fighter to deal with? And he'll say, Joey. Do you want to fight? Yep. Do you want to talk money? No, fine. Do you want to... Do you mind... Yep, fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what you get out of me. What you get with Deen... no, well, I don't really think he should be... Shut up and fight, you fucking pussy. Who have you fought? You fought 3 men. He's fought 3 people, hasn't he? He's fought... Walid twice. Mm-hmm. Evil Hero. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's not even go into it. Let's not be disrespectful. And Pulley, yeah... who at the time was making his debut. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So that's no...
He also had the tag team in Nashville as well.
Yeah.
With him and Deen, and then Yuddy and this other fighter's name, which I've forgotten, which is very rude of me.
I know.
It's going to come to me. He's a southpaw. iPad.
Yeah. But, so what happened in that? Did he do really well against Yuddy, did he? Did he land any punches on Yuddy?
I can't quite remember the fight.
Well, no. You remembered the match, so yes. Do you remember a punch he landed on Yuddy?
I think Yuddy Gang had a quite good performance in that one. I think that's fair to say.
Oh, right, yeah. But Yuddy's not Dean's level, by Dean's logic. He'd never fight Yuddy. Oh, no, it's not that level. No one cares about Yuddy. No one cares about Cray Cray. What I'm saying is this, bro. You've overvalued yourself. And unfortunately, you've signed a contract, yeah? And your contract that you've signed is nowhere near what you think you're worth. And what you're worth ain't what you fucking think you're worth. Because at the end of the day, all you are is a fucking pussy. And the illusion that you're someone dangerous and someone whatever is slipping, because you can't be dangerous without being willing to step into the fire. And you are not willing to step into the fire. You're not willing to do it. Do you know what I mean? You don't want it. You don't want it with anyone. Why are you trying to take on the world when you ain't took on your division? Who in the division has he beat? Give me someone. Tell me. Come on, stick up.
Waleed.
Yeah. Waleed. Okay, when was Waleed's last fight?
Deen in October of last year.
October of last year. So we're coming up, what's that, 14 months? 15 months, something like that. So you're on about a guy that hasn't fought in 15 months and has more pullouts than he does fights to his name.
Right.
Okay? Fair enough. Who else in the division? Because this division now, has got me. It's got fucking Cray Cray. It's got Yuddy. It's got Argentinian King. It's got Ace Musa. It's got Fox the G. It's got Pulley Arif. It's got whatever. So I've just gone through all these fighters, and I've named Pulley, who Deen fought in his debut. That's the only guy who's like active that Deen's fought, and Deen didn't even stop Pulley, did he? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So and as for Dave Fogarty, big respect for Dave Fogarty. Yeah, I like Dave Fogarty, but at the end of the day, if Deen's this level above me, let's talk about willingness here. Let's talk about willingness. When I fought Most Wanted, who was I supposed to fight that day?
Cool. You're meant to fight... What do you mean? You're meant to fight Most Wanted?
When I fought Most Wanted, Most Wanted was a backup option that got brought in later on.
Right.
I agreed to fight, and he'll back this up if you ask him, Dave Fogarty.
Oh, okay.
So in my first ever...
all the way back in January.
In January. So in my first ever Misfits fight, they went to me, would you fight this guy, Dave Fogarty? Yeah, fine, no problem. Straight away. There you go. Mm-hmm. Baby Hulk. Let's say Baby Hulk, for example. Bro, I got told who I was going to fight. It was Baby Hulk. I go in there, I deal with Baby Hulk, whatever. And time will be a good storyteller with Baby Hulk, because people, there's way too much disrespect put on that man's name.
Well, he's meant to be fighting Small Spartan J, hopefully, in the future. Who wins that one?
Who wins? Mm-hmm. Fuck knows. I don't know. But it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Both good fighters. But what I'm saying is, time will be the best storyteller with Baby Hulk, because people put disrespect on his name. Oh, whatever. Watch. Baby Hulk can punch, mate. Baby Hulk hit me with a shot. Little Cray Cray is 100 times more skilled than Baby Hulk, yeah? No doubt about it. I've shared a ring with both. Baby Hulk, this is one single attribute, and one single attribute doesn't win you fights. But, well, sometimes it does. But Baby Hulk had a harder punch than Little Cray Cray. Do you know what I mean? So time will be a good storyteller with Baby Hulk. But what I'm saying is, I've just said yes to everyone that's put in front of me. By the way, Little Cray Cray gets eliminated from the tournament in what? What month was that? You were there, innit? Miami was like July time. July, right? July, my fight's September.
Yeah, it was September.
Okay. But we already found out the side of the draw before Little Cray Cray got eliminated. Mm-hmm. So we knew, right, no matter what, until the final, which was always going to be in December, we knew that there was no chance of coming up against the Southpaw, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Right? We knew there was no chance of me coming up against the Southpaw. Ace Musa, not a Southpaw. Walid Sharks, not a Southpaw. We know that I'm on that side of the draw, yeah? When Walid Sharks pulls out, Cray Cray comes in at 5 days' notice, something like that. Big respect, has a really good fight, close fight as well with Ace Musa. Comes through that one. How many weeks of sparring did I have then until fighting Cray Cray? Because that fight, I'll tell you, was on August the 12th, right? And I remember that fight because that was my birthday. So that fight's on August the 12th. My fight is on September the what was it,
September.
10th or something?
Yeah.
Beginning of September, yeah? Bro, I had 3 weeks of southpaw sparring to get used to fighting a southpaw. It's not a complaint. I'm not complaining. What I'm doing is I'm telling you it to show you the difference in fucking diva antics. Like, with Deen, he wouldn't even take that fight then. That'd be, oh no, I'm not doing it then. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with me, it's like, yep, roll the sleeves up, crack on, get on with it. Oh yeah, but you could go in there and you could get beat by this Golden Gloves winner who's got more experience than you and he's going to be a tricky southpaw and whatnot. Yeah, but fine. We're all being well paid. Sweet. Get on with it.
But if the fight does get made between you and Deen, we'll wrap this up in just a second. The fight does get made between you and Deen. That's a very exciting one. You got 2 come forward fighters, 2 big punchers. How does it go down, Joey?
Listen, let me tell you why. Dean's going to get a few options, right? And we already know them, don't we? It's going to be Little Cray Cray. It's going to be me. Or it's going to be, I don't know. But it won't be anyone like that Dean's going to want to fight. Do you know what I mean? Because, put it this way. If you're not willing to fight me... And by the way, you're interviewing Mams soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, ask Mams. Ask Mams if Deen got offered to fight me in Qatar. That settles it all, didn't it? Mm-hmm. There you go. Well, if I'm a liar, would I be sat here saying that? Do you know what I mean? So ask Mams, when you interview him, did Deen get offered the opportunity to fight Joey in Qatar? There you go. If he's turned down the fight with me, and he's turned down the fight with Little Cray Cray, yeah, if they offer him anyone around that level, he's going to turn it down too, yeah? But here's the difference. Unless you want to just be inactive or whatever, you're contracted to another fight. So you got to fight someone. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, what are you going to do? Retire? Like, I don't know. But what are you going to do? So the way I see it is this. I don't personally think that Little Cray Cray is going to come to Deen in their fight. I think Little Cray Cray will box him on the back foot and he'll use his superior boxing IQ to get the better of Deen. And I think he'll win every single round against Deen. Mm-hmm. I don't think Deen will have anywhere near... throughout 5 rounds, if they box 5 rounds, I don't think Deen will have as much success in 5 as I did in 1.
Right.
That 5th round or whatever, yeah? Little Cray Cray's the real deal. He'll do Deen. Like, he's a very, very good fighter. So... And he'll do him without, like, Deen really getting the chance to land clean on him. Deen will land clean on me. I'll promise you that. If Deen takes the fight with me, I promise you, Deen will land clean on me. Deen will land a clean right hand. His little pullback right hand that he dines out of, and that's literally all he's got. He'll land that clean on my chin. Do you know why? Because I will get in there and trade punches with this boy. Yeah? And in doing so, we will see who's got more heart, who's got a better chin, and who's got more power. And every single box there, it's me that comes out on top, ticking every single one of them boxes. I've got more heart than him, I've got a better chin than him, I've got more power than him. I'm a bigger man than him, and he does not want to be in there. I fucking love it in there, yeah? I go in there regardless of what's happened. And I don't make excuses and try and elevate myself and whatever. I just go in there and get the fucking job done. Yeah? Deen's got, what? What's he got on Misfits? Two stoppages.
He's got the stoppage of Wooly Sharks. No, 1 stoppage.
No, Evil Hero, did he not stop?
Oh, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, 2 stoppages.
2 stoppages. Okay, cool. Evil Hero, would you say he's about the same standard as Most Wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, around there.
Okay. So, I didn't beat him. I lost. But I fought Little Cray Cray. Would you say... I think Little Cray Cray's a million miles better. But if you're being neutral, you say he's about the same standard as Wally Sharks, whatever?
I'd say Lil Cray Cray is a bit better than Woody, I'd say.
You would say that. I would say that too, right? Either way. What I'm saying is, me and Deen have mixed at the same sort of level. We've got the same amount of stoppages, yeah? We've both got 2 stoppages, right? His thing is he hasn't lost yet. And the reason he hasn't lost yet is because he ain't fucking fought now. No, he's got 3 stoppages. He's got Dave Fogarty, innit he?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But everyone forgets about that, don't they? No one's really bothered about it. No, but it is what it is. Either way, he's selling himself like he's some fucking global superstar. He's not. He's a little mug. He's a cock. And he's a pussy. And he'll never fight anyone that he doesn't see himself as a big favourite against. And that's why he's a sly little dog. Tried to go behind Misfits' back and tried to leave Misfits and tried to fuck it. I could tell you loads. But he's a sly dog, mate. He's a sly dog. And when I get him in a ring, I'm going to fucking punish him. I will chin that boy. And if he wants to... all that fucking shit that he talks, yeah? Tweeting about me after I lost... We'll see, because unlike a lot of these lot, I'm an in-person man, yeah? I'm on it in person. So, let's see. Let's see if you come with that same sort of attitude when you see me, because I will be sticking it on you.
Well, I can't wait. I think it's a very exciting fight between you two. Certainly a main event you could do. Would you sell a few tickets if you did here? You could do the Troxty Arena, couldn't you?
The Troxty?
Yeah.
Troxy. I thought of the Troxy. Is that the Troxy up there?
No, no.
I can't see it. No. The Troxy, yeah, I could do a few hundred tickets, I reckon. Yeah. Troxy, if there was one at the O2, any venue, Wembley, like Wembley Arena or whatever it is, any venue in London, I could do a fair few hundred tickets because all the Chelsea boys and that will come. Yeah. It's harder for like Leeds and Newcastle and Nashville, fucking hell. I still did sell a few tickets for Nashville. I sold like 8 tickets or something. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, it's harder. It's harder for stuff like that. Yeah. But do you know what it is? Can I just say it on this? Like, for the people that don't realise this now, people that know their boxing, like the guys like Cray Cray and Yuddy and all that, they know that Deen's not like what people elevate him to be. But Deen was there from the start of Misfits, wasn't he? Yeah. So a lot of people haven't come over. They've come through like the influencer thing, and they haven't come over from traditional boxing. So there's a lot of people that don't know any different. So if I showed you one woman and you had only ever seen one woman, you'd say that's the best looking woman in the world. But you've never seen anyone else, have you? Do you know what I mean? So the lightweight division has only ever had one champion. It's only ever been Deen, hasn't it? And now it's Cray Cray. But what I'm saying is, it's because people don't know any different. But trust me, if you saw Deen mix it with me, Yuddy, Cray Cray, Ace Musa, Argentinian King, Fox, the people I've just named, if you saw him mix it with all of us, he would just be like the same as all of us. Mm-hmm. He's not a level above us. And this is where you can tell that I'm being real with things. I could go, I'd get beat by all of us. I'm not even saying that. He'd probably win a few, he'd lose a few. The likes of Yuddy and Cray Cray, he would lose. He would get completely outboxed because he's quite easy to outbox. The likes of me and Deen fight 10 times over. Maybe you get a different winner a couple of times. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a shootout. But, yeah, he ain't what people think he is. And I think the internet's realising that now. It must not be nice being him because he goes online and everyone just calls him a fucking fake and a fraud and stuff like that, don't they? Like, you see the Twitter, I see it all. It's not nice. And I know as well, through when I lost to Cray Cray, people jump on it, oh, he's been fraud checked, he's been exposed, whatever. There's this whole thing, isn't there? Oh, you're 2-1 in influencer boxing. Listen, I'm 12-1, yeah? I had 10 fights on the unlicensed scene. I have had 2 on Misfits. On the unlicensed scene...
What was your record on the unlicensed?
10-0.
10-0. Oh, really? You were?
10-0, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, on the Queensbury Boxing League.
That's why the little Cray Cray hurt you so much, that loss, because it was the first one.
That was the first time I've ever lost.
Yeah.
I've never lost. I had 2 close fights. Like when they went to the scorecards, I was like, have I won this? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I've had my first ever fight. When it went to the scorecards, I was like, I think I've won this, but they might give it a draw. It was a proper war. It's on YouTube. Me and Tim Carpenter, his name, his first ever fight.
Where's he now?
God knows. Never heard from him. But yeah. Anyway, that one was a close one. Mm-hmm. Then all the rest of them were like clear wins. And I fought some people, I won't start fucking name dropping, but I fought some people that like you could link back to. Like I fought a guy that was trained by H.
So, H as well.
Yeah, I fought whatever. And I fought a kid that had been to an ABA final. Whatever. That was the other close fight. That was another one. When it went to the scorecards, I was like, I think they're going to give this to me, They might give it as a draw. It was a close fight. Do you know what I mean? So, but either way, I come out of the unlicensed scene 10-0. 10 fights, 10 wins. And I can tell you in my whole time doing it, I never, ever, ever fought someone with a golf level between us, like the way Deen has. So say Deen, when he took on Evil Hero, or even, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting him, I really like Dave Fogarty, but it was his first fight in boxing. There was a golf level and experience between the two of them, as there was when I fought Baby Hulk, yeah? So what I'm saying is, and Most Wanted, so what I'm saying is, I've always, like, until people on Misfits are going, oh yeah, he's been exposed. Bro, when I was in having my first ever fight, I was fighting a guy that had had something like 14 fights, yeah? When I was having my 8th fight, I was fighting a guy that had had 35 fights and stuff like that. I fought one guy that had had 90 fights or something like that, and that guy didn't land a punch on me, and a month later, he went and fought on that first ever sort of influencer boxing card where Slim fought and Adam Salah fought, and he fought Adam Salah. Marcus Stevenson, he fought Adam Salah and dropped him like a sack of potatoes in the first round. 3 weeks before that, he fights me and doesn't land a punch on me. Right. So what I'm saying is, when people do this whole thing of like, oh yeah, you're 2-1 on influencer boxing. Bro, the level I fought at before Misfits was, on the whole, better than the level of Misfits in terms of the boxers, yeah? But you've got some better fighters on Misfits. So say, for example, the best guy I fought unlicensed is, in my opinion, the same level as Little Cray Cray. And maybe due to the fact Little Cray Cray Southpaw, Little Cray Cray's a bit better than him. I beat that guy over 4-2s. And obviously Little Cray Cray I lost over 5-3s. So it's about that level. But either way, listen, I'm looking forward to getting back in there. Whether it's Deen or not. Deen is a fucking pussy. But what I'm saying is, Deen won't take the fights that he's been offered. So if I'm Deen, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to go, do you know what? Joey is probably the most winnable fight for him. Because I'm a more winnable fight for him than Little Cray Cray is, because Little Cray Cray is way too skilled for him and will just go on the back foot. And I could try and implement that against Deen. But I don't want to win against Deen. I want to do the boy some fucking damage. Do you know what I mean? I'm going in there with bad intentions and I want to do him some serious fucking damage and put him in some pain. So I'm not going to do that off the back foot, am I? I'm going to come forward and I'm going to walk into the line of fire. So if he backs his power, maybe he'll chin me. Maybe he will. But there's only one fucking way to find out. And if you look at the reaction, people would like to see that fight. I would go as far to say a few people would like to see that fight over him against Cray Cray. Because styles make fights. And I think that me and Deen is a more entertaining fight than Cray Cray and Deen. But obviously, that being said, Cray Cray deserves it more because he's won the tournament. So
hopefully.
It is what it is, Fred.
It is what it is.
What it is.
It's been quite a long one. What time is it? 16 minutes, first half. It's been about nearly a 40-minute interview.
Fucking hell.
So, hope everyone's still tuned in.
Bang on a bit.
That's why you have a podcast, I guess. All the Chelsea fans. But yeah, Joey, as always, man, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Is this mine to keep? Would you want a song?